Hi, so I'm going to do a look at a manga series. I've not done a manga rec in a while. I did have somebody message me on just on the feedback on my YouTube channel saying, "Can you do some more manga?" I thought, yeah, why haven't I done any manga in a while? Now, I'm a weird person when it comes to manga. I'm not the biggest fan of Shonen Jump, so I don't like a lot of the popular stuff. Um, like I can't even remember the name now, but like think like some of the big ones that have been turned into anime. I it leaves me cold. I think I've got this weird thing about and like One Piece. I tried getting into. I enjoyed the Netflix live action series, but the manga itself it doesn't do much for me. So I know that's sacrilege and blasphemy, but I don't know. It just feels too not daft, but I don't know. But there's quite a big chunk selection of especially shown jump titles that I just feel like I'm too old for. But one that's always intrigued me is one called Dan Da Dan, which has become a huge anime success as well. I did try the anime initially and I thought it's good, but it's going too quickly. I couldn't grasp the plot lines as much because some manga to anime works really well because the plot lines are like a steady pace, but Dan Da Dan is so frantic from the get go that I felt overwhelmed and it was just too like a sensory overload for watching it as a film, as a TV series. So I thought, okay, I need to break my Shonen Jump fast and try a Shonen Jump one. And what did appeal to me as well, even though it's a Shonen Jump title, this one is a mature readers one, so yay! And it does say parental advisory, explicit content, yay! Ooh, so kind of like pleased about that. And another thing that made me buy it, the art is gorgeous, and I'm so pleased I did. I knew it could be good because the anime, like I said, was good, but it's just so fast. Um, so I thought I can do this at my own pace with this one, just to show you some of the. I know with manga, got to be very careful because if Viz gets wind of this, they can be a bit pissy about it and penalise you. Just want to find one. I want to find one where it gives away a lot. Oh well, move on to the second one. See if it's okay. There we go. Really, really nice detail on a monster crab, and you don't want to get monster crabs. And even things like this. I mean, mangas, Tonkabans are really quite a bit smaller than US comics, but look at the detail of the crowd there, the crowd scene. So basically, this brief, very brief synopsis um, on this boy and this girl at this school. She's one of the popular girls. Well, I kind of like the popular girls, but the ones that people are a bit afraid of at the same time. It's that there's a name. One of the friends is that Japanese trend where they really heavily put really dark brown makeup on, like they've got really severe suntan with whites under their eyes as well. So it looks really severe. And she's got a crush on this Japanese actor called Ken Watanabe or something like that. Um, and she goes out this boy just because he looks like the actor, and he basically dumps her because she won't pay for his meal. So she's distraught, and then so that's they set up that character, and then there's a young lad, and he's like a typical cliche Japanese unpopular lad, big round glasses, hair in a bob, and he's obsessed with sci-fi and cryptids. So like stuff what could happen on Earth if you believed in UFOs, etc. Um, the girl, her grandma, and I don't want to reveal about the grandma because you really do need to read this because the reveal of the granny is like a jaw-dropping moment in itself. Her grandma is a medium, a spirit medium, and so she believes in the supernatural. And through a set of really fun, daft, stupid circumstances, they end up basically colliding with each other, and this weird kind of friendship starts. And it turns out that he's got the exact same name as the actor that she fancies, so that just throws her for a six. She's like, no, fuck, no, fuck, 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 fuck. So she gives him another name because she doesn't want to be reminded that he has the same name as the actor that she absolutely idolises. And so they end up just going somewhere, and these weird, like, X-Files kind of things happen. I don't want to spoil it too much, so these weird kind of X-Files things happen where these supernatural bits happen, and then this weird sci-fi stuff happens at the same time. So but it tickles both their sweet spots, and she finds that her supernatural beliefs can help him when he gets into crisis against this supernatural creature, and his science fiction knowledge helps her when she gets in crisis with this science fiction creature. But that's just skimming the surface. One, it's fucking hilarious. The interplay between the two of them is superb. There's gratuitous nudity on some pages. Well, not full nudity, but there's a bit of everything. Why? And then I think, oh yeah, it's Japanese. But it doesn't. It's literally gone like that. That's like a brief, unnecessary moment. But at the same time, there's a bit in that scene where it's hilarious because these aliens basically. If you've seen the anime, you know what I'm on about. These aliens basically try and torture and impregnate her. Yeah. You need to read manga. But that's just not even the. I mean, I'm only 1.5 books in, and oh my god! But what happens to him is nothing compares to what happens to him. He gets chased by this granny witch, who makes him very smooth down there. She makes it disappear. So he doesn't realise this is happening until afterwards, and then he's like, "It's gone!" And so half of the story is about them trying to get his Todger back. Which they, I don't, yeah, come on, something happens, it kind of happens, but then another part of his anatomy in the same region disappears, and so that sets the scene for later on in the story, and it's just wonderful. It's balls to the walls crazy, but in a way where you just want to jump onto the ride. It's basically like the best Keith Giffen story on acid. Where he could just do things like Trencher and Heckler, where he pushed the boundaries what he can do with a comic. This is the same, and you can tell how much a lot of modern Western artists have had from the current reign of manga artists, because like that technique of like the jaggedness to show movement. And there's a bit here where he basically becomes a human helicopter, and look at the like the blurred lines on his body to show movement. The art is absolutely gorgeous, stunning, but you can't get a good comic just based on great art. The interplay between the characters is brilliant, and not just them, but the secondary characters as well, like a grandma. I adore. Really adore. You'll find out why if you read the books, and it's just so good. I mean, I think there's about 12 or 14 books, if not more now. I'm invested. I mean, they're really good value for his books. So these are £8.99 UK. In my shop, my local comic shops, you have 3 for 2 on all manga and all graphic novels. So I'm going to be picking these up when I pick up my comics on a weekly basis. And I'll give a follow-up review on later books, but highly recommend. If you've been on the fence wondering, I've seen the anime, it's okay, you know, I found this much more enjoyable than the anime because you could take it in much more easily because you could lessen the pace because you could read at your own pace, obviously. But yeah, it's great. Dan, a modern classic. There is another Shonen Jump book that I do want to get because I really did enjoy the anime, and that is Chainsaw Man. I know he's become a bit of a darling now in the modern manga circle, so expect a review of that. But I want to get deep into these first, and yeah, highly recommend Dan if you're wondering about where to get it. Okay, bye. Pow, pow, pow.